This is Soul Calibur 6. I want to show you one of the easy fighting styles in this game, and how easy it can be. A lot of the difficulty factor seems to be based on fighting style. So, as you can see, I have it on very hard. Okay, now I'm gonna go ahead and start a battle very hard using this fighting style. And
welcome to the stage of history retold.
I don't remember what it's called, but you'll see. I'm gonna use created players for this battle. Okay, so
Soul of shall be your undoing.
See, his fighting style is one of the easier fighting styles in this game. And remember, I have it on hard, so I'm gonna fight against a nunchucks.
Soul of Maxi.
Not running.
And we're just gonna fight. Who cares where we fight? In a ship, and it's a 4-round fight, so I like doing 4 rounds instead of 3. But I'll show you basically what I'm talking about when I say it's a little bit easier with this fighting style. For me, this fighting style is easier than any other. You know, you can almost win effortlessly when you use Siegfried fighting style.
Fine, I'll fight.
Now, I don't know, I haven't tested against a nunchucks fighter, but you can see I'm standing far away. You obviously want to stay away from those edges. Oh, he beat me in that round. So it looks like the nunchuck. It's surprising that they would be hard to beat because
I can do it. You're mine. You're mine.
sometimes you can win without putting a huge amount of strategy and effort into it, based on if you have the right fighting style.
It's over.
See, the secret is keeping your distance. Backing up. He can't do anything unless he's doing a special. Then I just, oh, he blocked it, so that was good. If it was on normal difficulty level, he wouldn't block that. See, if this was on a normal or hard difficulty level, using the Siegfried fighting style would be super easy. As you can see, this ain't super easy. It's not beyond easy, but you can see matchups make fights on there. That's one thing I noticed about it. Oh, this fight is very close though. But I'm not using a huge amount of strategy and thought into this. I'm just basically just keeping my distance and attacking him whenever I want to. So in Soul Calibur 6,
I've got this.
see, and I'm mainly just hitting triangle strike for the most part. I'm not using many kicks or anything like that, so
Must be seized.
the game will be very difficult if I was the other fighter. So in this game, styles are what makes fights, and
Easy. Back off. You're mine. I can do it. You're finished.
oh, he's coming back. See, and in the later rounds, when you play on this hard difficulty, they get way stronger. It's kind of like the arcade mode, really. The later fights are way harder than.
Sit up.
Notice how my defense is just my feet. I'm just backing up. See, I'm taking a risk here.
It's too much.
See, as I won that fight, it was still neck and neck, but the point I'm making is I had it on very hard, and I didn't really. The only strategy I used, I didn't even really block. I didn't land any kicks. I just basically stepped back and attacked. And if that was on a normal or regular difficulty level, it would be an effortlessly easy win. In fact, it would be kind of boring. Now, on this hard difficulty level, some of the fights seem impossible to win based on what type of fighter you have or what fighting style. Some fighting styles seem to lack.
Welcome to the stage
Me
of
personally,
history retold.
I don't do well with the slower fighting styles. Like, I'm gonna go into creative player so I can show you exactly what I'm talking about. Show you one of my fighters. I don't do well with. I do well with Siegfried, and there's a few fighting styles I do really well with. But when I play the story mode and those type of modes, I use the Siegfried so I can win every fight. I never lose any fight, no matter what difficulty level it is on that particular mode. I'm looking for one of my fighters with well, I'll just go to him. This is one of my created characters here. He's like a dinosaur, but if you look at his fighting style, no, let me see. Yeah, I don't know what fighting style that is. Go to Mont and see. But if he's there's a big axe or a big hammer you can carry, I'm awful with that no matter what difficulty level. If I play it on normal difficulty level, I still lose fights. This is a really good fighting style because there's a lot of speed behind it. I do well with this as well. But honestly, like, the battle mode for this one, to me personally, is easier than Soul Calibur 5 with certain fighting styles. But if you use, I'm not good with remembering like these fighters, whose fighting styles what, but I'm not very, even though he's supposed to be one of the strongest characters, I don't do well with this fighting style on a hard difficulty level. I really don't, even though he has a really big sword and a really good reach, his speed is not good enough for me to do well. I don't do well with that style either. There's only a couple of styles that I do well with, maybe like 3. I don't do well with that one. Keelik, I do pretty good with that. This, I'm absolutely terrible with this. When I first played on the hard difficulty, I was like, well, it's impossible to win a fight and this and that. But it's only because of how slow the character moves for me personally. Now, some people, depending on what type of player you are, they do better with these guys. These guys here, when you have this type of fighting style where you're slow and moving something big, you rely more on blocks, like the block. You just have to time your hits. As you can see, he's very slow. It's hard for him to do the grappling move if you play it on the hard difficulty level. Now, there's other players that play it that are just so good at this. They will tell you, well, I can win on the hard difficulty level with any fighting style, this, that, because you fight each fighter differently. And that's what I like about this game so much. You can't just select anything and just hit attack and just win every fight. Only, even though some strategies are very easy on here. Now, I have never taken this game online, but I'm considering it, and I'm sure those are your toughest fights would probably be online play. I know I played Soul Calibur 5 online, and I didn't win a single fight. I was wondering if they're coming out with any expansion packages for this game for the creative player. I heard they were, but I haven't seen any come out. I want to know about that because my creative players are lacking compared to Soul Calibur 5. Seem to have more stuff, even though this one has more options for what type of character you create. That it's lacking a little bit compared to Soul Calibur 5 on equipment. You know, like clothing is what they call equipment on here. This is one of my fighters. Sometimes I just randomly give him a name without thinking about it because there's already a name on there and you can randomize the name because I'm more interested in the character and what he does. I love this guy's wrist thing with the claw on it. I think that's really cool. I like the nunchuck style, but for some reason I struggle with it on very hard difficulty. I really struggle against certain fighting styles depending on who I'm fighting. To me, what makes this game so great is the fact that fighting styles are what makes the fights on here. It's not like you can just select anybody and just destroy everybody. You have to really think about your guy's abilities, his speed, his defense, because you defend yourself differently. Like a guy that doesn't have as much reach, like the Siegfried fighting weapon style, he would probably have to block more, even though he does have a lot of really good speed. His attacks are better, but I personally don't do as well with this style on very hard difficulty level. But anyway, the whole purpose of this video was to talk about how easy it could be, how this game could be in general based on fighting style. It could be pretty easy, even though the battle that I demonstrated to you was neck and neck. It was my first time trying it on very hard with that fighting style against a nunchuck fighter. However, it was still easier than it should have been because I wasn't really using a lot of intelligent strategy. The only thing I was basically doing is my main emphasis strategy was to keep my distance and just attack, run in and attack, step back, run and attack, and without even using the blocks or kicks. I mean, I tried to kick, but I didn't land any. This is the character that I used. He's one of my favorite characters. He wins effortlessly. I use him in my story mode, even though the story mode in this game is not that good to me, but whatever. Anyway, I want to do some more videos on this game. Other aspects of it, I have a couple others that I shot earlier, maybe a month ago or something, but anyway, that's the end of this video.